Do you ever question if others really like you when you first meet them, or when you've been talking to them a while, or even people that you have known for a long time? Do they really like you, or are they just being polite? If this sounds like you, I'm going to explain the reasons why you probably feel this way and some good news. There is an illusion called the liking gap, and that is the disparity that is present between how much we feel like others like us versus how much they really do. In 2018, Erica Boothby, psychologist and researcher, she and her colleagues did a number of studies around this illusion. The results were amazing. People who were strangers, who met each other for the very first time and started communicating with each other, thought that the other person didn't like them as much as the other person really did. And this was also evident in situations where people were getting to know each other over a period of time, as well as dorm mates who spent an academic year with each other. And that is where she termed this illusion the liking gap. In all three of these situations, people self-assessed their likability as less than how they were really liked by the other person. Now, the interesting thing about this is research shows that normally we think well of ourselves and we think well of other people, but it comes down to the situation where you're wondering what other people think of you, and that's where you can become self-critical. So it's not only for just people who have low self-esteem or low self-confidence. It is very common for people even with high self-esteem and high self-confidence to experience this liking gap. Research shows that it usually starts at the age of 5 because that's when we're self-conscious of how we're coming across to other people. So of course, the next question that you may be wondering is, why do we feel this way? Why do we feel like people like us less than they really do? Have you ever been in a situation where you talked to somebody and you admitted to them, I used to think that you didn't like me? And the other person responded, what do you mean? I always liked you. The reason why we experience less likability in ourselves than reality is because we're critiquing ourselves. And as we all know, we're harder on ourselves than anybody else is. How often have you left a social situation where you may have met somebody for the first time at a party or a professional event, and you start driving home thinking about all of the things that you said or did that you're thinking, this person probably really does not like me. I can't believe I said something like that, or I can't believe I did that. I am so guilty of this myself. In fact, after social situations, especially if they're in the evening, I usually can't sleep because I'm replaying everything in my head, thinking about the things that I said and did, and usually critiquing myself poorly. So how do you overcome the liking gap? First of all, just being aware of this reality will help. Just being aware that, hey, it's not just me that's being self-critical. This is normal in that most people do this. And once you're aware of it, it will help minimize you self-sabotaging your connections and relationships. Because if you think that someone doesn't like you, then you're likely to be more guarded the next time that you see them, or you're more likely to not approach them because you're thinking maybe they don't like you very much. And so you tend to shy away, and what is happening? The other person who also is experiencing the liking gap does the same thing for that same reason. And so what happens is a lot of times we don't have connections with other people, all because each person is thinking that the other person doesn't really like them when they really do. So the best thing that you can do is when you have encounters with other people, whether it's strangers, whether it's people that you're just getting to know, or whether it's people that you have known for a long time, is to make the assumption that you are likable, and you will show up more confident and you'll show up more focused on them than how you're coming across to them. If you know of someone who could benefit from this video, I hope you'll share it, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.